Are you constantly looking at your YouTube analytics? Isn't it making you feel like you're losing your mind? The thing is, when you have the YouTube Studio app, you're going to look at it constantly, especially if you're just starting off as a new YouTuber. You'll think, oh, I'm just going to look at it one more time. And then before you know it, you are looking at your YouTube Studio app and hours have passed and you're trying to look at every single video, the click-through rate. Oh, I've lost a subscriber here. Gosh, this sucks. And you start feeling so negative about your YouTube channel. I actually don't have the YouTube Studio app on my phone because I know that if I have the app on my phone, I'm going to look at it all the time. So I look at my analytics on my laptop. And I know that if I'm going out and I'm having time away from YouTube, and if I have the YouTube Studio app on my phone, I'll be checking it. So for me, it's like I rather not have it than I know that I can't check it on my phone. I don't have access to check it on my phone. And yes, looking at analytics is important. I'm not saying it's not important. It is. But when you are looking at your analytics all the time, you're fixating on it, you're becoming obsessed with it, then you're not actually looking at how to create your next video because you're feeling so demotivated by the analytics that you currently have. Or even if you're doing well, you may be basking in that glory of doing well and not thinking, okay, let me also move on to my next video. You know, with the YouTube Studio app, you'll be looking and thinking, okay, so I'm getting so few views on this video. Look at this other person on this YouTube channel who's in my niche and they're getting so many views. And it can really make your mind go in circles. And the thing is, YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. But when you're starting on YouTube, your first videos are going to suck. It doesn't mean to say that if your videos aren't performing well now, that it's always not going to be performing well. And sometimes when you constantly look at things which you think are negative, views that are down, views that are low, subscribers that are dropping off, then you're fueling your mind with so much negativity instead of thinking, okay, how can I improve my next video? Let me plan my next video. Let me film my next video. Let me post my next video. And then by you constantly checking your YouTube analytics in the YouTube Studio app, right, you are going to start thinking of YouTube as aiming for perfection rather than progression. You're going to think, oh, well, if my views are so low, then maybe I shouldn't actually publish my next video. Maybe I should just take months before I even publish another video until I get everything right and then I'll publish it. Instead of thinking that, you actually get better as you improve with every video, and it's about progress, it's about learning. And I say this even to myself because looking at the analytics constantly, right, I know it can be so draining. If you feel like your analytics are doing well and you feel like your videos are doing well, then you think, okay, I can be happy now. And then the moment something goes wrong, you think, oh gosh, now this is such sad news. We shouldn't be equating our worth with the number of views that we are getting. And if you're constantly on your YouTube Studio app, you're going to start equating your worth, your value as a human being with the number of views that you're getting because you become obsessed with it. You are already enough as you are. Let that sink in. You are already enough as you are. No YouTube video, no YouTube channel should make you feel less than. Even if it's your own, it should definitely not make you feel less than. In this digital age, right, there are lots of positives. I'm not saying that there aren't positives. Obviously, there's so many positives being in this digital space. But when you are constantly looking at your YouTube Studio app on your phone, you are thinking about your creativity only in terms of performance. And when you only think about your creativity in terms of performance, it actually limits your creativity. Maybe you want to actually create a video that other people have created, but it's not a viral video. And then you think, oh, I shouldn't create this video because chances are it won't be viral. But you really, really wanted to create it. But now you're so fixated about the performance of it that you just let it slip by. You're like, no, I'm not going to bother with that video at all. I think you have to ask yourself, how many times are you looking at your YouTube Studio app on your phone versus how many times are you actually posting content onto your YouTube channel? Now, if you can invest that energy from looking at your studio app on your phone and looking at your analytics and like scrutinizing it to such a point that it's making you feel just drained, then divert that attention and that energy into actually creating content that's going to help you move forward mentally as well and emotionally as well. Constantly looking at your analytics on your YouTube Studio app will really make you feel burnt out. You will feel so burnt out by this. And that's why I keep saying, that's why I actually don't have my YouTube Studio app on my phone. Because I just know that when I want to have time off from YouTube, right? I just want it not to be in my mind at that time. But if you're carrying your phone around, you're going out, you are tempting yourself. You are tempting yourself to look at it. You are. If you're the type of person that doesn't get tempted to look at your phone, to look at your analytics often, if you know it's so easily available, then fine, you can have your YouTube Studio app on your phone. But if you know you have the tendency to look at your analytics in the morning, look at it again on your phone, just like 45 minutes later, then don't do it to yourself. Just don't do it to yourself. The thing is, YouTube can be really frustrating, can be really stressful, but it should also be fun. And by constantly looking at your YouTube Studio app, it diminishes the element of fun. It really, really does, because you become so critical of yourself, so critical of the content that you are producing. And yes, analytics is wonderful, and I always say that it's important. Analytics is important. It is important to understand it, but not to the point that it can make you feel so crappy. We shouldn't allow things into our lives that make us feel like we are not worthy. And that's why, even if you need to just have a little break from it, even if you need to delete the Studio app for a few days and then put it up again, where you feel like you've reset yourself and you'll be a bit better and you'll be able to manage it more effectively, then maybe that's what you need, just a little bit of a break. So I do look at my YouTube analytics on my laptop, and I also need to look at it less than I'm looking at it. I know that. And I'm going to try harder to look at it less. I'm not going to be so fixated on the analytics. It reminds me of school report cards in a way. You finish your exams and then you get the results. But with this, it's not like you're getting your results after a few months. It's every day you can look at your results. So having constant reminders of how well you are doing or how poorly you are performing, it does something to your psyche, doesn't it? It does something to your mental health. And you know what? I also say to myself, come on, you shouldn't have to take YouTube so seriously. And yes, I know that some of us are on these platforms not just only as a hobby, but also for a career as well. But if we're going to be here for the long game, right? If we're going to be here for many, many more years to come, then we have to understand that having quick wins or having failures, those things are part of your journey, right? That's why I always say with YouTube, so much of it is about having a positive mindset. And I don't have a positive mindset about YouTube all the time. No way. I definitely do not, because it can be really frustrating and annoying at times. But when you're looking at the analytics all the time, it just can feel like you are so scared to even move forward with your content because you're so afraid that you're going to see all those arrows pointing down and you're just going to see that your video has just performed so poorly that you don't actually think, you know what, I'm going to focus on providing value for my viewer, for the person that's watching. I'm filming on my phone right now. I've always filmed on my phone. Someone is going to watch this video and I want to provide value to that person. I want them to understand that they are not alone, that when they feel like they are just checking the analytics all the time, many of us, me included, we often have felt like that. We often have felt like, you know what, we need to take a break from looking at our analytics all the time because it makes us feel really bad. So what can you do? So you can delete your Studio app from your phone, YouTube Studio app from your phone for a little while, and then put it up again and see how you feel about it. Or you can also do what I do, which is I check on my computer and, just monitor, like, how long are you spending on actually checking analytics? Is it becoming obsessive? And only you can answer that truthfully. YouTube has so many highs and lows, right? And I think by looking at your analytics on your YouTube Studio app, you are constantly reminded of the highs and lows. And the thing is, if you're in it for the long game, your focus needs to actually be on content creation. And yes, there's a time and place for analytics and there's time to evaluate, but it shouldn't stand in the way of you actually posting YouTube videos. It shouldn't stand in the way of you researching for your YouTube videos. It shouldn't stand in the way of you understanding why did you create your YouTube channel in the first place? What is your goal with your channel, right? And the only way you can reach your goal with your channel is by posting more content, is by improving each video as you go. Mental health and YouTube, it's a huge thing, right? Because so many people think, oh, you're a YouTuber, fun and games, la 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 la, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hello. YouTube can be very stressful. It can negatively impact your mental health if you are being so consumed by your analytics on your YouTube Studio app, etc. It can really take its toll on your mental health, and that's not a joke. And we need to understand that just like how a person who has a typical normal 9 to 5 job and they can get affected by it, when you are in the digital space and this is your new normal 9 to 5, or even further than a 9 to 5 because you're even working in the evenings, etc., and you're constantly looking at your YouTube Studio app on your phone, it's like almost like your boss breathing down your neck telling you, oh, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, but it's there in the metrics, right? And it's constant. And who wants to be constantly evaluated or shown the evaluation all the time? Because you have access to it. And when you have access to something, oh, I can easily just look at it. So please protect your mental health, protect your peace, protect your sanity, and don't overanalyze your analytics with your YouTube Studio app. Like I said, take a break if you need to from it. Make sure that you're mindful of how much time you're actually allocating to your YouTube Studio app on your phone. And just remember that, yes, YouTube is important, your channel is important, but your health comes first. Also, watch this video about how to talk on camera. I hope you enjoy that.